Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make this beautiful bubu you can see with the organza inside and a brocade fabric in front. You can use any fabric for your front. It must not be a brocade fabric. So first, I'm going to be marking my shoulder measurement divided by 2, which is 8. I'm just doing this so that it will not be confusing, which is 8. Then from that shoulder down to my sleeve is about 14 inches because this fabric is 2.5 yards, like 2.5 yards of organza what I'm using. So I came down 1 inch at the neckline. I marked 3 inches for my neck width and then came down by 1 inch. This is the back neckline I'm marking, and I'm cutting both the front and the back. This fabric is folded into 4. So I came down at the edge 2 inches for my shoulder slope, and I am going to connect that from the 3-inch mark for my neck width to that 2-inch shoulder slope. So I did not film this part, but I came down from my shoulder 12 inches, and that is where I stopped my sleeve. Then I came in 3 inches from that point and I took it straight down. You don't need to shape this to your bust, your waist. It's going to be a very straight and free boo-boo. So after that, I just cut it out. Like I said, I'm cutting both the front and the back together. I ironed this so that it will stay in place because organza can be very stubborn. So now I just removed one part and I'm going to use that to cut out on my brocade fabric. My brocade fabric is folded into 4 as well. I just want to get the same shoulder slope and neck width and depth. So now I'm going to remove one part of it. That's going to be the back piece. I'm going to remove one part of the brocade and one part of the organza, and then I'm going to keep them aside for the back piece, like you see me doing here. So now the other piece is going to be for the front. This is them together. And then now I'm going to cut out that front design. I'm going to be using a doll face because that's what I have with me. You can use any decorative fabric you have. You can spice it up the way you like. So I'm going to be using this doll face, and the doll face is about 17 inches. This is half yard of doll face, 17 inches. So now I'm just going to cut out that same neckline and shoulder slope so that it's going to be the same. Like when I place it on my brocade, it's going to be the same. I'm just cutting it out like you see me doing, but I'm not going to cut it all the way through because I don't want to waste this doll face. So I'm going to open it up and match it to the neckline that you see me doing in the video. So I'm going to pin this, and I've labeled right and left so that I will know how I'm cutting this. Since the neckline I'm going to cut is going to be asymmetric, it's not equal. So now I came down 7 inches from the shoulder. As you see me doing, I'm marking 7 inches from the shoulder. This is going to be how deep my neck depth is going to be. This is my neck depth, 7 inches. I just connected it together, and I'm going to be squaring it up to the edge of that neck depth. Like you see me doing the video, I think I'm talking too much, let me not confuse you. Then I went in by ½ inch at that point there, and I'm going to slant it down to the line there. Then from that point on, I'm going to use my tape to measure about 3 inches inwards. I'm going to measure 3 inches inward, and I'm going to mark that. Then I'm going to come down 2 inches from the shoulder on both sides, and that is where I'm going to connect my slant to. Like the slant is going to stop at that 2 inches before it gets to the shoulder line at the top. I think as I'm saying it, you understand what I'm doing. You can cut your neckline just a regular V neck, any kind of design you want. It just depends on your preference. I'm trying to cut out the same neckline that we had in the original style. This is the first time I'm cutting it, so I'm not very perfect at it. So please bear that in mind as well. So now I'm just using my chalk to draw this so that you can see what I'm doing very clearly, and I'm going to cut it out when I'm done. So now I'm going to come out 3.5 inch from that point as you see me doing, 3.5 inch on both sides, because this is how wide the black fabric is going to be at my neck. So I just connected that down. Then I came in by 8 inches from that point, and I'm going to mark it 9 inches now because 8 inches was too small. 9 inches from that point, I'm just connecting this line down to the end of the doll face, and then I came up by 4 inches, and then I'm going to connect that 9 inches into that 4 inches that I came up by for that neckline design. So from here to here is 17 inches, here to here is 9 inches. I came up by 4 inches from the end of the doll face, and that is it. And I slanted it. So when that is done, I'm going to cut it out. So this is what we are having after everything. So now I'm just going to pin this down to the organza so that I'm going to cut out the same neckline that we had for the organza front. Remember, we've kept the other one for the back, so this is going to be for the front. So when that is done, just remove this from the brocade fabric, and now I'm going to sew this. I'm just marking the wrong side, and then at the back I'm going to sew it like this. I'll be sewing it from the back so that when I flip it over, the right side of the fabric is going to show on the front of the brocade. So when you finish sewing it, remember to notch all these sharp edges so that when you iron it, the neckline is going to sit very properly. All the sharp edges will show. You know what I mean now? So after notching it, I've flipped it over and I've also ironed it. After that, you're going to join the shoulders. You're going to hem the edge of the brocade, and you're going to hem the end of the brocade as well. You also join the shoulders for the organza fabric, but you will not join the sides of the organza first. You will first of all join only the shoulders. So here I'm going to be using the French seam method to join my shoulders, which I'm going to be joining from the front side. Then I'm going to trim off any excess I have, and then I'll flip it over to the wrong side. Here I've joined it at the front. This is the front of the organza, if you notice. And I made my seam at the front. It's showing now at the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it to the wrong side. Like when you're joining nets. Like you know how you join nets. I'm going to flip it over to the wrong side, and then I'm going to sew it like this. You can iron it if you want, and then I'm going to sew it. Well, you don't necessarily have to iron it. You can also just use your hand to press it down like you see me doing, and then you just stitch it. So when you've joined the shoulders for the organza and the brocade, this is what it should look like. This is the brocade, and the back is still looking off. It does not have any interfacing yet. So I'm going to just carry the organza and place on top of the brocade fabric. The right side of the organza is facing up, is facing me. So now I just stitch the neckline from the back to the front. I stitch them together. I'm also going to notch the edges. Everything will just lay flat. So when you finish stitching that, you've notched the edges, everything's looking fine. You're going to flip it over. You'll see me do that in a few seconds. So you're going to pack the organza like you see me doing in the video, and then you just put that through the neck hole, the neck from the front and the back. You just stuff it inside like that and arrange it. This is what it should look like. It should come out from the inside of the brocade like this. Okay, so this is what it's looking like. This neckline still needs some ironing or some notching. I'm still going to add some embellishment, some designs to this plain doll face. You can use any fabric you like. So now the next thing will be to arrange the sleeve side. I'm going to fold the sleeve, this sleeve width. I'm going to fold it like this. Then after folding it, I'm going to join the sides from the front first using that French seam method from the front, and then I'll flip it to the wrong side. So here I have joined the sleeve. This is what it's looking like. I've also joined this edge side. You can trim off any excess, any rope that is coming out, and then you're going to flip it over to the wrong side and sew it down. When you are done with that on both sides, you are going to hem the end of the organza like the way you've hemmed the brocade. You're going to hem the end of the organza. And then give it a good press and if you want to embellish the front with anything like stones. And then that is it. This is what it is looking like. This is the final review. I also forgot to add this when I was cutting out the fabric, but the style originally, you notice that the shoulder slope did not have any seam lines showing, and that is because they cut the Bubu from the middle of the fabric. Like now, let's say you have 6 yards of fabric and then you fold it at the middle and then you fold it into 4, like when you want to cut out a circle skirt. That way, when you cut out just the neckline, the shoulder slope will not have any seam lines showing. I don't know if you understand what I mean, but there are Bubu tutorials that are like that. If you want me to make another tutorial without the seam line for the shoulder showing, please leave that in the comments. I did not have enough fabric, so I folded my own the normal way that you fold something like this way. But if you want to get that style, you have to fold it from the middle. That way, if you have like a lot of fabric, it will work for that one. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.